over towards the northwest side.
Get out of there, Birmingham Schools. You don't want to be sticking around too long. He's going to hop back in, try and reverse back on over, do more damage, create more chaos. Okay, there's it.
Over towards Influence Rage.
Okay.
What is Law doing right now?
Mates left to pick up, and he's going to be solo. Geek going to roll on in. They lost one. Will they lose any more?
No
because it's just the one.
Oh, that is the lone wolf and a half right there.
It is a pretty big shakeup, all things considered, because you had 6 days to figure out the rhythm and you still couldn't do it.
And they're the regional champions as well, right? If they aren't representing in the finals, then that's a pretty big disaster. You're right. It's not fun. It's not fun for them. Yeah, especially with Zedwolf's debut season with them, I think it's bad. True Ripper though on our screen, and he's going for one. Oh, he's traded off for a second, and there's no backup really. Jelly can only sit there and watch because he has to turn tail. The survivor to drive the story back to the rest of them, strike fear into their hearts. The Boars not feeling that fear right now, not against ETSH as they try and push on in. 3 players now in the ground floor, not quite connecting, and the spray is huge there coming through from Shiva, the destroyer right now. ETSH now holds the door and a headshot, beautiful. Hop out the window, look for more. ETSH don't have the backup for the Boars players, not rallying towards each other. Doesn't realize there's a player behind him, but has got his teammate now to play against him. ETSH running through the Boars, beautifully found. Shiva looking stylish, but doesn't quite keep his back under control.
Goodness me, what a fight that was between both those teams. Baby there goes down. Now Reverb looking to finish the job off. Sneaks and Reverb still up and kicking. Nade doesn't quite make it into the building.
Shiva's still up on the wall. SnowX and Exo. They found Baby. But they have been made to look a bit foolish by the runaround from Shiva. And I mean, Arcred just love sitting in these third-party oversights, right? We saw it from the last game. And easy for Bad Boy. He wants to collect these points. Might be able to do so here. But at the moment, everyone's kind of covered off. Shiva, I mean, I'd be surprised if they can get across for this res. He has to go now. He's just bleeding out. Yeah, Shiva's gone.
Yeah, there wasn't really much help to try and get him back up into position. And this fight has got multiple oversights on it, so it's difficult to make work. Circle over towards, much rather have a 4-man squad. Over towards the northwest side. It's still fairly central. Reverb comes in with a nasty crash onto it. But the rest of the team is close behind.
I mean, you say the rest of the team, it's just the one man. Actually, Sneaks cannot get the best of them. They funnel back into the shelter. They'll get that res and play on as 3. A nice hold there. A little bit haphazard on the approach, but as 2-man, it's kind of excusable. You just need to go for something sometimes. Burmese Ghouls with a scrap against Geek, or rather, just Ichi with a scrap against Geek. Steal that hovercraft, get on the bike, get out of there. Burmese Ghouls, you don't want to be sticking around too long. The blue zone's here to play, but Yatka doesn't have that position under lock, and Key will be taken down with the side swipe, will be immediately flushed as well. Ichi can't land the shots, but neither, it seems, can Burmese Ghouls. Over the top they go, and they are just not finding it. What has just happened there? As Geek giving him a ride out of town, Ichi is knocked, but he's going to hop back in, try and reverse back on over, do more damage, create more chaos. Okay, Nezzet's now here to play. What has just happened there? They've crunched all the vehicles apart, and Geek spray it down. I don't even know how they managed to get those elims. Either way, a comedy unfolding here for Geek, getting 5 elims. Aren't going to let that one go. They will keep that pressure up. Next circle is going to take us central. No, it's going to go north. Hey, look who's there. It's Influence Rage.
That's kind of frustrating for a lot of teams. Influence Rage getting these circles is unbelievable. You can zone with a nade over the top there to find some damage over towards Foston, who was the front man for the squad. Malloy now immediately has to recover this position. It goes very, very long. Doesn't get too much value off the back of it. Weibo playing a pretty good spot right now. I think teams are going to start to lock into this tomorrow, by the way, in terms of the rotations. I think there'll be a lot more central teams because there are a ton of areas quite frequently that are open to rotate through. I think that change either will come towards the latter half of the day today or be very much something that's considered tomorrow. Milky Way, that is a crazy play from you, but I guess you have to marshal the defensive here whilst the res goes off.
Yeah, he's going to be able to hold that line, stop Nuclear Zone from getting too close. Arthur, a clenched fist right now. Oh, I wish I could have stopped him, but no. First Pro actually sending out into the blue zone. I don't dislike Crunch on the east edge, but where do you go from there? Because it's a direct transition in towards Influence Rage from this point.
That is Pro. I'll go for the wrap. I'll go towards Influence Rage. Okay. What is Law doing right now? I mean,
it's exactly what you want to see. Is the ability to correct your missteps.
So for First Pro, it looks like a weird play. The only thing I can think right now is that they assume a team's playing in Mansion and then they're all in one vehicle. So what they're hoping to do is to do the old, you know, Evel Knievel stunt where you go up the hill, you end up on the roof, and then they try and fight out as a 3. It's a pretty dangerous play. It's the one that has high value if it works out. It's massively risky, but it all goes to nothing, like you say, because I think Influence Rage is looking third party. So they spot it way earlier than they potentially should have done because Law is doing some crazy maneuvers on the outside. I think there, honestly, Influence Rage gets very lucky.
The Rippers moving through. Nuclear Zone gave them some trouble. Hydro did go down. Ooh, there's the lineup from Weibo. And they've been on a tough side of this zone. The approach, not going to happen. They do win the fight with Nuclear Zone in the end, but they bite the dust for it. 3 elims found on the match, and on the southeast side, they go down. Influence Rage finally don't get a zone shift right on top of them, which is going to be good news for Weibo, actually, and potentially for Regnum Kaya here.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the 3 teams that I was looking at in this lobby in the first place were actually these 3 anyway, is Weibo, Regnum Kaya, as well as Influence Rage. I think Influence Rage is a fantastic squad overall, and always has been. But those are the key teams that stand out to me. Regnum Kaya now fending off versus Alliance. Now Zed Wolf left remaining all in his lonesome.
Oh!
And they survive with the help of Weibo from the distance.
For how long, right? Zed Wolf really can't stand up here. Needs to drop a smoke, and there's more players moving in. Ragnarok, you're not getting past Zed Wolf. The Wolf's on the hunt, but he is the last to stand now. No teammates left to pick up, and he's going to be solo. Geek going to roll on in. They lost 1. Will they lose any more?
No
because it's just the 1
play. That is the lone wolf and a half right there.
It's good to see, though, that Zed Wolf still has that glint in his eye, that little glimmer. DRX looking for it as well against Team Flash, but they are not going to be allowed in towards the museum. Not this time around. Team Flash holding it out. Keep the spray down going over towards Arcred. That looks like a good start, but there's more to do, and Tops is on the ball. He's looking for the last players alive now. I think it's just easy for Bad Boy on the outside, and that is dismantled. A really solid hold coming through from Team Flash on the south edge blank. They're up to 10 elims. And
some very odd approaches.
And another. Into the fight. There's it. He can't hold it. Not like Zedwolf. Judo has been knocked, and that is all the way on the outside. And another team takes up the bunker. The vehicles stop piling up blank. Eventually, you're going to have an impenetrable wall here.
End games right now. I think the Influence Rage.
They got that VP spray down, which is where those points have come from. Team Flash, they're going to streak out towards E-Arena, though. And the south point on the 2-2. There's only 2 of them. Can they hold it?
NC2, a good lineup. Over towards Flash at the moment. But it is a good initial roll down. It's down to Joker. He falls, and it's a big job now for Sakura versus Bose. Can he hit the target?
It's a 1v1. And Lil Boy's chiming in as well. They've got Influence Rage with the flex outs towards it. Sakura is on his lonesome here. Bose, same story. Weibo have moved in blank. They've rolled straight up to this hill. They hear what's going on. They're flexing out from the southeast side. Influence Rage can't control it, and they are just going to get crunched in the pinch here. Team Flash having a real tough time of it. Speed Force not working out for them. And Weibo deal the final blow. A lot of points earned for Arena there, though, blank. And that is 6 on their tally. So despite only having 1 player alive, 4th place in a 6 Elim game, that's still going to be happy.
Good wrap from Weibo. Only sending 2 players as well. I think they heard and saw how disastrous that engagement went. Out comes the hovercraft though, and it's still going strong at this stage of the game. Sakura jumps in the buggy. He doesn't want anything to do with this.
Oh, they know where Sakura is. Federal, swap to that side seat. Go on, you know you want to. No, he's going to play it a little bit more sensibly. Play up to the ridgeline and look for control. They have given up that position on the northeast side. They're leaving just Lil Boy out there, but in the meantime, Twisted Minds kind of the only team in the middle. I mean, you couple again. You just crash a couple more vehicles in there. It is a full compound, right? It's really nasty stuff though. And Twisted Minds are going to survive because of it. Sakura caught high and dry right now. Diego trying to send around. Federal trying to hold off against Weibo in the meantime.
I mean, he's been very secretive though. Somehow remaining in it, but the tags there, that's pretty disastrous for him. Good shots from Lil Boy at distance as well. That should be Sakura going down. Irina out, strolls in towards our top three. Scrap iron. Never mind, that nade is pretty on target.
Ooh, just the one for the knocks on that. Law, though, will try and flush it out. He might just find Walsh in the meantime. That's going long. It's actually pretty difficult to land the nades into this one because of where the vehicles sit. There's a lot of cover, and you can see it's not doing too much damage. They're all burnt out, sure, but their protection from that shrapnel, though they are getting forced, and the nades are dropping a little bit shorter. Pop up. Oh, the bobble around. It just goes over the bonnet. It's surprising how difficult that spot is to nade, it seems.
Yeah, with you throwing it in between the vehicles, and any kind of LOS you can get on the nade is basically no damage. But Weibo, they're starting to move up right now. Diego and Law are the only two players that are close together, and Weibo is trying to find that position on the map where they can push the spear through the armor.
Hero flexing out, Lil Boy to match. Behind the rock, Hero actually corralling the man in now, and two players from WBG holding that flank down. The back line for Suit is completely under control. They've actually moved all three players up that north side, and now Order's streaking down the middle. With Twisted Minds out, they can start to establish on that bunker. They can play that same spot, but with off angles to complement it from us. I'd love to see it. Influence Rage. Haven't been able to do too much damage to Weibo. Have been allowed to set themselves up quite nicely here. Diego hopping out. Down in the dirt. They're worried about the flank, and I think rightly so. If you get rid of Hero, and all of a sudden you can start to line up, but that's a really good opening pick for Tech3Z, stepping up forwards, getting that first knock. Influence Rage. I mean, they're going to suffer to these nades. There's 24 nades and more in the boxes for Weibo, and none for Influence Rage. I didn't even look up at the utility before, but okay, yeah, this is done and dusted. Weibo win, for sure.
Yeah, it's been a great game from Weibo. It's been a great game, and I think that my favorite thing about this game is that Suk put the bow and arrow down. He put it down, which is something that he refused to do in previous international tournaments, even in these moments where it didn't make sense. I think he's the one player that can find an unbelievable amount of value of it, but I do think he needs to put it down sometimes, and that's great. It's good news. It's great news, in fact. Yeah, Order's just like, I'm finishing this job now.
With a million boxes and the burnt out wreckage of half the teams in the lobby, Weibo able to close this one down. Influence Rage, though, it's not doom and gloom for them. They have 5 elims in a second place, would be brilliant. Diego, gonna give it a fair crack, but Order spots him in the grass, and it will be taken down.